It's round number 5. After a painful loss in round number 4, go check it out. I lost to a Grandmaster on time. I played with Bayatov Mario. Again, a kid, and this was the second day. So kids could easily prepare for me. So I decided to play something that I don't play usually, I don't play on daily basis. I knew he would prepare for e4 and he could prepare absolutely anything, so I decided to play d4 instead and go for London setups. But of course he went g6 and we get this kind of king's Indian, which I don't like. That's actually a good setup against London. Bishop g7, knight c3, and now I go e4 and we transpose to Perk. Queen d2, c5, and now we're getting some dragon Sicilian position. At least it seems like some dragon Sicilian. So queen b6. Queen b6 is a very interesting move. Now this knight is under attack, and many players might actually get knight to b3. They want to protect b2 pawn and they want to get this knight of d4 from attack. But here my queen is on h6 and unfortunately black have queen f2, and after king f2 knight g4 I'm just simply losing a pawn. So I saw that, of course, after queen h6, queen b6, that was kind of his idea, that okay, knight b3, queen f2, little trap, but I go castle. Knight g4, now he attacks my queen and he attacks f2, and I go knight d5. So if I go queen d2, what happens is he might actually get some e5 on the board, and now he takes an exchange. But here I think, yes, knight d5 is playable, and it turns out that black are actually losing due to queen h6, because now knight f6, knight f7 are two very, very insane threats, and he has to sack his queen to avoid it, because let's say if f5, it seems like okay, everything is avoided. No, h5, and if knight h1, h take g6, and now after takes there's bishop. Yeah, bishop c4 is something that I actually couldn't find right now, but bishop c4, and now if takes, then queen g6, rook h1. If knight f2 goes back, knight f6, double attack, and it's a double checkmate. Knight, bishop, everything is attacking the skin. So knight d5 was played instead, counter-attacking the queen. Now if queen b2 is played, it looks like okay, black just won a pawn, but not for a long time, because after knight e7 the pawn structure is slightly worse from black side, because now a lot of problems with d6 pawn. Let's say I get the knight back, I go rook d6, it's very hard to protect it. So after knight d5, he went for knight h6 immediately, and now I have a lot of space advantage. I go knight b6, rook a7, and now not quite clear what to do with this rook, because if I don't... yeah, knight d7 might be played, but I gotta think of different ways to restrict black's pieces, so I go f3. I want to get this knight on h6 square as much as possible. He goes knight c6. I honestly thought knight d7 is gonna be played, because honestly, why not? But after knight d7, I plan to go knight d5 just to attack this pawn. And if e6, then there is a weakness on d6, so he has to protect something like rook e8. And then, yeah, computer says knight c7, but I can just simply go g4 and try to play g5 and get this knight trapped. So something like king g7, but again, like this looks absolutely disgusting. Knight c6, I go h5. h5 was a mistake, and I kind of understood it after he played g5 on next move. It wasn't clear, like I wanted to play g4 and I knew that g5 is coming. f6 is not really playable. If he wants king g7 on the board, then again it looks disastrous. And now h5, and suddenly like a lot of big attacks are coming. Knight c8, rook c8, knight f5, and then I try to take on h5. Let's say if king g6, there's f4, bishop e2, bishop h5 is a checkmate, so he has to play something like f6 and then rook g1. Just a lot of problems for black. h5, g5, now he locked the h file, and I kind of realized I have to do something else, and that h5 was actually a bad move. I go bishop c4, king g7, bishop d5, takes, bishop e6, rook c4, taking the c file under my control, takes, and now he goes knight f5, I go rook c7, tying this knight to protecting the c7 square, rook e8, rook e1, king f6, and now I play knight c4. g4 was surprisingly a lot better, because if knight h4, I could go c4, and now the problem is I'm exploiting, let's say knight f3, rook f1, I'm winning the knight, and if this king goes back, computer says I even have c5 idea. And after knight f3, rook e7, rook e7, rook e7, oh, because simply what happens is I promote everything, knight c6, rook e8, and this rook is there forever. He might play a5, but again, rook c8, now I'm just threatening to take. And there is absolutely nothing. Yeah, actually rook c8 is a much more serious threat than d8. So yes, and I would have won the game. But knight c4. My idea is to play g4 and knight d6, pinning everything on the file. Rook e8, he protects, now rook b7. And after knight g3, there will be a lot of basically the game ended in like next 3 moves, which was a bit surprising, because there is like I expected a lot of play. Computer says h6 was the best move, just to kind of get this knight to h6. If king g6, king h6, again kind of slow, very looks bad. So g4 was my idea, but what was played on the board after knight g3, I decided not to go for h6. I didn't even see this move, I didn't consider this move. I played knight b6. I wanted to attack, and I'm not sure what was going through his head at this very moment. He just again forgot, and I'm referring to my round 3 game. You know, there's some luck involved in chess. He played knight h5, completely forgetting to first move his rook and then play knight h5. But he played this immediately, and after knight e8, he simply admitted his loss. Well, we both laughed, because I didn't expect it, he didn't expect it, and the game basically ended right here. There is absolutely nothing Black could play for, because after rook e8, I would have just taken rook e7. It's not very clear what to do with this pawn. Rook f8, I can do just like whatever. Rook bd7, and then rook e4, take the pawn on d6. On a6, and I have 4 passers on the king side. It is a win. So after 5 rounds, I have 4 points, and in round number 6, I was playing International Master, one of the most talented juniors in Bulgaria, Sedan Stoyanov. I actually have a positive score against him on chess.com, but you will see tomorrow how that game went. Hope you enjoyed. See you soon. Bye bye.